haggis. The national dish of Scotland, this savoury pudding is made from the minced heart, liver and lungs of a sheep, together with oatmeal and suet. It used to be boiled in the sheep's own stomach, but nowadays it is usually cooked in an artificial casing instead. It may look like something created for a dare, yet fans of the dish compare its taste to peppery meatloaf.
Peppery meatloaf doesn't sound bad, and I'm sure it probably tastes pretty good. Might taste great, but once again, when they say what's in it, it doesn't sound, like something that I'm gonna rush out of my door and drive and go get this meal. Hello and welcome back. Today we will be talking about foods, specifically British foods. And this video is top 10 British foods that confuse the rest of the world. Me, us, Americans, the rest of the world. Every country will have their foods that confuse the rest of the world or are weird to them or they don't understand, never heard of. And I'm looking forward to this list because I feel like I would have heard most of these, maybe even when I was over in the UK. I've had a few of these. I know there's a few that are, it just sounds like from the name, pretty off-putting. But when you see like this, I think I know what this is. And it looks good to me. I mean, it looks great. I would definitely try that. But I think the names are kind of off-putting sometimes. And other times the ingredients are off-putting for us foreigners, as would any country's, weird foods. I'm sure we have stuff here in America that's strange. I'm sure we do. I'm 100% sure we do. You don't look at our food. I mean, look at our fast food. How many crazy chains we have here. So this is more authentic, better, some history, some British history behind these. And let's just jump in to see what these foods are. And if you agree, let me know which ones of these that you do like and what you don't like. Like what's maybe more common over there that, yeah, I ate this yesterday, and what stuff that maybe you don't really know people that eat it or is just around for the holidays. I want to know that because that's something that I just can't grasp. I'll never know from these types of videos. And without further ado, let's jump into this video.
We're looking at British foods that baffle foreign visitors, either because their names are misleading or because their ingredients are so unusual, it's a wonder anyone would choose to eat them.
Oh, it's horrible.
Number 10, Scotch eggs.
I don't think I should have eaten that Scotch egg.
Is that egg with the sausage wrapped around it? Never mind, not important.
This popular British snack consists of a hard-boiled egg enclosed in sausage meat and breadcrumbs. London's Fortnum and Mason department store supposedly invented them in 1738, although other sources claim they originated in Yorkshire. The earliest recipe for Scotch eggs, at least in print, dates back to 1809, which recommended they be served hot with gravy, though they can equally be eaten cold as a picnic food. The taste of Scotch eggs can vary depending on where you eat them as well, with different UK regions using their...
That looks good to me. I mean, I think I would like it. I guess, do you eat it with a fork and a knife? Do you just kind of use your hands? I feel like we use our hands here in America for a lot of things, but I don't know. It doesn't look that bad to me. It's off to a good start so far. These I would definitely try. Some things I might not try, so let's see what's next.
Own local sausages in the dish.
Michael, would you like a miniature Scotch egg?
Oh, not for me, pet. I've got myself a steak and kidney pie.
Number 9, deep fried Mars bars.
This nation brought the world television, the steam engine, golf, whiskey, penicillin, and of course, the deep fried Mars bar.
You'll find many unusual foods on a British chip shop menu, from curry sauce to mushy peas. But surely none is stranger than a deep-fried Mars bar. These calorie-laden snacks are made by dipping a chilled Mars bar into the batter normally used for frying fish, because chocolate isn't fattening enough on its own, right? The snack was apparently invented as a novelty item in the Haven chip bar in Scotland before growing in popularity. What will people think of frying next? Pizza? Oh, no, wait, they've already done that.
We just had a state fair, or I guess a county fair. We have a lot of deep-fried stuff. There's just massively, that's what the fairs are known for, massively terrible foods for you. You go there, have terrible foods, do some rides, some games, see the animals, but tons of deep fried stuff. For example, we had deep fried Oreos. They're okay. I'm not a huge fan of deep fried stuff in general, but it's something different. You just kind of got to do it when you're at a fair. Another bad food I've never tried at the fair. It's a burger, and the buns are donuts, naturally, because why not?
Glasgow, perhaps the least healthy food ever sold, is the deep-fried pork sausage kebab.
Number 8. Black pudding.
Wow.
It might have pudding in the name, but most people would be disappointed if they got served this for dessert.
What is
This
it?
sausage is typically made from a mixture of congealed pig's blood, lard, and oatmeal, and is usually eaten fried on toast or as part of a full English breakfast.
Who made this? Who invented this?
Lemon cheesecake, it is not. Black pudding is most likely to have originated from times of hardship, when butchers would use every last part of an animal for food. And whilst it might not be to everyone's taste, it was acclaimed as a superfood in 2016.
Well, it's good it's a superfood, but it sounds disgusting what goes into it. But once again, there's a lot of foods out there that it's kind of ignorance is bliss. You're glad you don't know what's in there because there's a lot of weird stuff out there. And from the video that I reacted to, a few of them now, 2 of them, the Food Wars ones, McDonald's, and I just did KFC, and you see the ingredients that we put in there, especially in the US, kind of like chemicals. The ingredients / chemicals is how I say it. It's crazy what's in there, so maybe it's not too wild to, I don't know, maybe it's not as gross as I'm thinking it is. And how does it taste? Do I need to try? Is this one of those things that I need to try, or just, stay away?
Number 7. Mince pies. Originally, these short crust pastry pies were made with real mincemeat, but nowadays the filling is a mixture of dried fruit, peel, and a type of animal fat called suet. Eaten at Christmas, the pies are commonly spiced with cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg to represent the gifts presented to Jesus by
Sounds
the
good.
3 wise men.
Sounds good.
Visitors to the UK are often put off by this dessert's name, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? It just means that there's more left for the rest of us.
Mince pie, anyone?
Number
Yes,
6. Bubble
me.
and squeak.
Bubble and squeak.
It's piping hot.
This traditionally British dish is typically made from the leftovers of the equally traditional Sunday roast. Potatoes and cabbage are its core ingredients, but other vegetables can be added, such as carrots and Brussels sprouts. The possibilities are pretty much endless here. The potatoes are mashed into the cooked cabbage, then fried in a pan and eaten hot. The name bubble and squeak is said to come from the sound the ingredients make while they are cooking in the pan, and not from the effect they have on the diner's stomach when they reach it. Number 5. Toad in the hole. Yorkshire pudding, a humble batter made from eggs, flour and milk or water, was voted the top British regional dish in 2016, beating Cornish pasties and scones and cream. Or is that scones? But toad in the hole only increases the delicious factor by adding sausages to the dish. As for the origins of its admittedly pretty left field name, some people suggest that frogs were once included in the dish, and others that the finished meal looks a bit like toads submerged in mud. And honestly, what could be more appetizing than that?
Toads submerged in mud. Yeah, the more he talks about that, the more off-putting it is for me. Toad in the hole. Is this good as well? It doesn't look that good to me, just to be honest. It doesn't look that good. But a lot of times things that don't look good at all, you'll taste them and it's phenomenal. So what do I know? I've never tried this before. We don't have, toad in the hole here. We don't have, I don't think, any of these here. Other than the deep fried Mars bars. That's probably here. Of course, because this is America.
Does Toad offend you?
No, but sausage in the hole sounds fantastic.
Number 4. Steak and kidney pie. Steak in a pie? Sounds great. The kidneys, though, take a bit more explaining.
Yeah, I don't
Of course,
know about
offal
that.
is hardly unique to Britain. When you consider, though, that the function of an animal's kidney is to produce urine, it makes it particularly hard to see why anyone would spoil a steak pie by adding them into it. In Victorian times, oysters were used instead to bulk out the pie, but when shellfish prices rose, kidneys took their place. And surprisingly, the pies are still hugely popular in Britain, not least on football stadium territory.
I mean, from the looks of it, it doesn't look that bad. I like anything with, a pastry type dish. It doesn't look that bad, but when you hear kidney, they should just rename it and we would eat it. I don't know. The name is off-putting once again, but how are these? Are they as common as they say? Like, it's just very common dish over there? And maybe in certain parts? Let me know.
Terraces.
Steak and kidney pie. Steak and kidney pie.
Number 3. Spotted dick. Britain has more than its fair share of unusual desserts, with bread and butter pudding providing a particularly perfect example. But nothing raises eyebrows quite like the sweet...
That looks good, though. That looks good. The name doesn't look good, but this looks tasty.
suet pudding known as spotted dick. The spotted part of the name comes from the dried fruits added to the dish, but the dick part is more of a mystery, and it is hard to think of a more off-putting name for an after-dinner treat. Owing to this, in 2018, the dessert was reportedly renamed Spotted Richard in the Houses of Commons restaurant to spare diners' blushes.
That looks nothing like my spotted dick.
Right.
Number 2. Haggis. The national dish of Scotland, this savoury pudding is made from the minced heart, liver and lungs of a sheep, together with oatmeal and suet. It used to be boiled in the sheep's own stomach, but nowadays it is usually cooked in an artificial casing instead. It may look like something created for a dare, yet fans of the dish compare its taste to peppery meatloaf.
Peppery meatloaf doesn't sound bad, and I'm sure it probably tastes pretty good. Might taste great, but once again, when they say what's in it, it doesn't sound, like something that I'm gonna rush out of my door and drive and go get this meal. So haggis, I don't know. It's one of those things, once again, ignorance is bliss. Don't think about it and eat it and enjoy it. So, or don't, maybe you won't like it, but how do people like it over there? The national dish of Scotland. Okay. What's our national dish here? What's everyone's national dish? It's interesting.
Americans in particular seem confused by this food, with a 2003 survey suggesting a third of Scotland's US visitors thought haggis was a kind of animal.
No, go easy on the wee
How?
one. His father's gonna
what
go
kind of animal?
crazy and chop 'em all into haggis.
What's haggis?
Boy, you read my thoughts.
Number 1. Beans on toast. This classic dish is arguably the nation's favourite, with Brits getting through a staggering 2 million tins of beans every single day. Baked beans are also often eaten as part of a fry-up or on jacket potatoes, but in the hearts of the great British public, nothing beats simply adding them to toast. Or, if you're...
That doesn't look that... I mean, it's so plain, I guess. Yeah, it is plain. There's two things on it. It's white toast, I guess, and beans. And it looks like they put cheese on this one. This one looks like something that I could like, and I might try. Although if you had that here in America, people would look at you a little weird because, one, no one does it. I've never seen this, never seen it on, a menu at any restaurant, fast food place, wherever. And we just don't know about this. So we don't know what we are quite possibly missing out on. I've actually heard in the comments people saying how good this was, I think. I don't know what video this came up in, but I read the comments and I saw this once. So let me know if that's true. If this is just a great dish that I'm completely missing out on. I need to know. I need to know these things. Give me the inside scoop.
If you're feeling particularly adventurous, you could always grate a little cheese on top. Considering the meal's simplicity, it's fair to say that most non-Brits struggle to understand the reason for its immeasurable popularity. Do you agree with our picks?
Yes. Do you agree with their picks? I thought those were good. But yeah, let me know. Give me the inside scoop on these things. Tell me out of all these dishes, what I'm missing out on and the things that I don't need to try. And what's something that, just another question, kind of your favorite items and things that you don't really have or people don't generally have there. But I want to know what your favorite items out of this list are that confuse the rest of the world. That's like some big insight that I like hearing about, and maybe I will try these things. And real quick, I just pulled up this random website, I guess it's 10 worst rated British dishes. I don't know where this rating is from. This is Taste Atlas. I don't know how big they are, but I just want to bomb through these and see how they compare with the list that we just saw real quick. So cauliflower cheese, never heard of that either, but it doesn't look that bad. I'm not a huge fan of cauliflower, but with cheese on it, I mean, yeah, it would not spice it up, but it would make the flavor more abundant in this dish. Steak and kidney pie, we went through that one. Let me know what you think about that one. I just don't know what this is all about. It looks kind of good. It looks pretty good at times. Black pudding, we just went through that. That's something that I feel like I don't want to try, but maybe I'm wrong and I'm missing out on some heavenly taste. Scotch eggs, I would try this. I would try this one. I like hard-boiled eggs. I like deviled eggs, and this is, yeah, sure. I mean, why not? It's like breaded on the outside. Pork pie, I feel like, is this the same thing as meat pie and pork pie? Is that the same thing or is it different? Meat pie or pork pie? Because when I had it, I was over in London, although it was probably more of a touristy spot that I went to, We were hungry and desperate, and we got them, and they were pretty good. But it was meat pie. I don't know if that's the same thing. I'd assume so. Christmas pudding? I mean, it looks decent, right? I mean, Christmas pudding is a staple dessert at every British Christmas dinner ever since its introduction by Prince Albert. Yeah, love Prince Albert. Oh, it contains meat such as beef or mutton. Oh, okay. Dried fruit. That does sound a little funky. A lot of your dishes just contain some sort of meat within within something, within this bread. Interesting though. I would try it. I would try it. Yeah. Cucumber sandwich. Oh yeah, you know, we don't really have tea because people don't really have, you know, hot tea, not cold tea. We have cold tea here. We don't have hot tea really here. That being said, my family and I go to this one tea house that's kind of near us it's more, you know, you kind of dress up a little bit, go to a tea house. It's more, you know, hoity-toity. And they have these finger sandwiches here, and this is one of them, and a lot of people like them. They're a hit. Egg sandwich. Yeah, I mean, that looks good. I feel like I've had this before as well, or at least something like it. Maybe I was over in the UK as a kid. I don't remember. Doesn't look bad. No, you guys got something going on here. What is this? Bright pink, heavily seasoned sausage. Typically served in fish and chips. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. I mean, these are big descriptions, so I'm not reading them all out loud. But yeah, I would try this as well. And last but not least, Marmite. Marmite? Is that how you say it? Marmite? What is Marmite? I've heard of this. I think we have it here. Brewer's yeast could be concentrated, conserved, and eaten. Oh, sticky, thick spread started in 1902. The food company was founded Burton-on-Trent. I mean, not too bad. As a, you know, really poorly rated items that people eat over there, over in the UK, it's not that bad, not that bad. Just imagine going to other countries around the world and looking at that same list. We'll probably all be blown away by that list because we're so not used to it. So just wanted a quick little segue and just kind of show other things that you might have as a kind of a normal thing in your kitchen. As always, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining me for this video. This was a fun one. This was pretty good, and I'm expecting a lot of good, you know, comments and suggestions, or stay away from these things in the comments below. So thank you for joining, and I'm gonna do more of these foods, these British foods or different foods around the world, because I'm into it. So thanks for joining, and until next time, have a good rest of your day.